Welcome to the Association 100 podcast. The A100 podcast is an extension of our Association 100 bi-monthly newsletter that focuses on best practices, top trends, helpful ideas, and smart strategies and tactics that work in the world of associations. The podcast will feature meaningful conversations with association professionals across the country, taking a deeper dive into trending topics, offering insights that both inform and inspire.
Welcome back to another episode of the A100 podcast. I'm your host, Colin Gallagher, and today's episode is going to be a solo cast. So it's just me today. We don't have a guest on like usual, but I'm really thrilled to kick off a special 3-part series that I'll be doing on AI in PR. In today's episode, I'm going to dive into 2 areas that I think are really transformative and can really help boost your PR efforts, and that's optimizing press releases for SEO and leveraging predictive analytics to refine your PR strategies. These topics are both part of the 5 areas that we cover in our soon-to-be-released AI ebook, which is 5 ways to use AI in your association's PR efforts. And if you want an early copy of that before we get it up on the website, feel free to just shoot me an email. It's cgallagher@onwardupward.com, and I'll stick that in the show notes too. But otherwise, we'll have it up on the website, onwardupward.com, in the next couple weeks here, so you can grab it there as well. But the reason I really wanted to cover this topic today and over the next couple of weeks is that I feel like there's so much information out there about how to use AI for content, how to use it for marketing, how to use it for other applications. But there's been a lot less discussion and it's a lot harder to find practical use cases for PR. I'm starting to see a bit more of it, which is exciting, but it's still not as much as I'd like to see out there. So at Onward and Upward, we've been finding it really helpful in the work we're doing with our clients. So we wanted to share that knowledge with our listeners and really just jumpstart this bigger conversation around AI in PR in general. So let's get started by talking about press release optimization. If you're responsible for creating press releases, you've likely already experimented with AI in generating drafts for that. Muckrack had their 2024 State of AI and PR report that showed 58% of PR professionals use Gen AI for this purpose. We all know results can vary when you do a press release with ChatGPT or other forms of AI, and it really comes back to the prompts you use. Often it takes several iterations to get it right. But while AI can save you time, it does still require that personal touch to ensure your message is polished and effective. And like we've said, anytime we've talked about AI before, it gets you 80% of the way there. You still need to get it, at least for now, that last 20%. And you need to make it sound like you, put it in your voice, make sure it sounds human. But moving on from that, the biggest takeaway I want you to take from this is that AI can do more than save you time on your writing. AI tools can suggest effective keywords to include in your press release, which will help your announcement rank better in search engine results. It can offer SEO formatting suggestions, such as adding the appropriate headings and subheadings and meta tags that you need. If you're trying to reach multiple audiences, AI can customize your press release for each of those segments to really ensure that your message resonates with the right people. Some tools can even optimize your press release distribution, ensuring it goes out through the right channels at the right time to maximize reach and visibility. And isn't that what we always talk about in PR as the goal is hitting the right people at the right time through the right channel? What's interesting is you might already be using AI features for this in tools like Excision, Meltwater, Muckrack without even realizing it. A lot of them have it built in. Some are using it in beta, others are further along. But either way, if you have one of those tools, I would highly recommend call your rep. Tell them you want them to walk through where is it? How do I use it? Do I need to change what I'm doing? How does it work to make sure you're taking advantage of the tools that you already hear? A couple of others that are highly suggested around SEO optimization include Grammarly for Business and Market Muse. I haven't tried those yet personally, so if you have tried them, I would love to hear from you. You can send me an email or share your experiences in the comments when we post this on LinkedIn. But I think when it really comes down to talking about optimizing your press release for SEO, we say this, we talk about it a lot, but how do we really do that? I think for me especially, I came up in communications, and it wasn't until later in my career that I got more involved on the marketing side of things and started learning about SEO. But I'm not a SEO first natural writer. That doesn't come naturally to me. It's not how I think first. So using AI to do this is especially helpful for me. And I've found that it can really be a game changer for how you're writing these. I'm going to talk today through the lens of using ChatGPT. That's where I'm really focused on. That's what I use the majority of the time. You can certainly try other tools that are out there, whether you're using Copilot or Claude or something else, but ChatGPT is where I've spent the most time working. And that's what I'm going to talk about things through the lens for this episode. And I'm going to walk you through 10 questions that you can ask ChatGPT that will help you optimize your press release for SEO. And I would suggest that you upload your draft press release along with these prompts to get the best answers and recommendations back. So for keyword recommendations, ask it, can you suggest SEO-friendly keywords for a press release about whatever topic? Provide it details about your topic, your target audience, and any relevant industry terms to really help generate effective keywords in the answer. Think about keyword placement. Ask it, where should I place these keywords in my press release for optimal SEO impact? Ask for advice on how do I integrate these keywords naturally? How do I integrate them into the headline, the subheadings, the opening paragraph, the conclusion? All of these pieces will help optimize the press release in the end. And the way I would think about it is you're having a conversation. Almost act as if you're talking to an intern or a junior staffer and you're asking them questions and prompting them along to get to different answers. For some people, it actually helps to turn on the voice feature with ChatGPT so you can talk these questions back to it rather than trying to type them out. That's really a personal preference, but that could be a tip that really works well for some people. Getting back into these prompts. So for title optimization, ask it, how can I craft a compelling SEO-friendly title for my press release that focuses on that specific subject? A well-optimized title, it's crucial for SEO and user engagement. You could get meta description advice. So ask it, what should I include in the meta description for my press release to make it appealing and SEO effective? The meta description should summarize the content compellingly and include primary keywords. And if you add that extra information when you're prompting ChatGPT, you're likely to get a better answer back. So much of what comes out of ChatGPT has to do with what you put into it. Next up, content structure. So ask it, how can I improve the structure of my press release to enhance readability and SEO? You want to ask for advice on organizing information with SEO-friendly headings, bullet points, and short paragraphs. Alt text for images is another great thing that you can get from ChatGPT. The question you can put in, can you help me create SEO-friendly alt text for the images in my press release? It's that simple. Alt text helps with SEO and accessibility, describing images and including relevant keywords. So something you want to make sure you're doing well. Why not have something like ChatGPT help you with that? Link building strategies is another piece here. The question for that can be, what internal or external links should I include in my press release to improve its SEO? You can discuss with it how to use links effectively to boost SEO, including linking to relevant pages on your website or authoritative external sites too. And then finally, content freshness. So put that press release back into ChatGPT and ask it, how can I update my press release to make the content fresher and more relevant? Do you have newer statistics? Are there recent developments, upcoming events that might be related to this topic? All of those pieces can really help you get to that. SEO best practices is something you can ask about. If this isn't your natural lane or what you're used to, ask it, can you provide current SEO best practices for formatting and length in press releases? And this will help you keep up with SEO trends because that is going to be crucial for ensuring your content remains optimized over time. And then finally, analytics follow-up. After publishing, what key metrics should I track to measure the SEO success of my press release? Understanding those metrics to track will help you evaluate the effectiveness of your SEO efforts, which is a huge part of why you're doing this in the first place, is you want to be able to look at the metrics and see, did this matter? Did this work? I know I just went through a whole bunch of questions. What we'll do is we will get up on our website soon just this list of prompts and how you use them and some guidance for that. If you want to go back and listen and take a lot of notes, you can do that too. But I'll also get these up on the website and make it easy for you. And I'll do the same with the prompts that we'll walk through next in the predictive analytics section. So let's shift gears and start talking about how do we use AI for predictive analytics? In particular, how do we use ChatGPT? More than most applications, I really think AI-powered predictive analytics has the potential to just completely change the way we as PR professionals make our decisions and set our strategies in the future. I see so much potential here and think it can truly be a game changer in how we approach this. Predictive analytics can help PR teams fine-tune their campaigns and messaging by anticipating audience preferences, behaviors, responses. Think of it like a mini focus group or a pre-launch market survey. By analyzing data on target demographics, interests, and engagement, AI can predict what content channels and approaches will resonate and help you achieve your PR goals. So once you've determined the right message and campaign focus, AI can help forecast key metrics like media mentions, website traffic, social media engagement. This information, it can really help you and your team allocate resources more effectively, especially if you have a small team, if you're a one-person shop. It can help you set realistic goals and have a better understanding of what you can achieve. It can help you manage expectations, something that's really important when you work in an association, and ultimately demonstrate your value to your stakeholders, whether that's your senior leadership, your board, and ultimately to your members. To use ChatGPT in particular effectively for predictive analytics when it comes to PR, there are a series of targeted questions that you can ask it that focus on analyzing trends, predicting audience reactions, and optimizing campaign strategies. So here are some questions you can consider. Again, we'll make sure to get these all up on the website so that you can look through these as well. Probably won't be up the day this episode goes live, but we'll have them up soon, I promise. And if you want them before that, just like the ebook, shoot me an email. Starting with trend analysis. What are the current trending topics in insert your industry or sector over the last 6 months? Now, my recommendation here, copy paste that answer into perplexity.ai. Perplexity will give you citations and let you know if this is real or not, or if ChatGPT has made some stuff up. Because if you don't know, ChatGPT likes to do that sometimes. There are times when I will specifically put into ChatGPT, do not make up an answer if you don't know it. That is part of my prompt because otherwise it will fill things in. For example, I asked for some reporters and I had forgotten to put that in, which I normally do. And it popped back John Doe at the Wall Street Journal, which made me laugh a bit. And I had to tell it, is that a real person? And it came back with, no, that was a sample. And we got to a real person in the right context. Make sure you're thinking that through and putting things in like that to set some guardrails and get the answers that you want. Audience preferences. Ask it, can you analyze recent discussions on social media about insert your topic to identify key themes and segments expressed by insert your target demographic? Looking at content strategy suggestions. The question there to prompt GPT with is, based on recent successful campaigns in our industry, which insert your industry there, what content types and topics have resonated well with audiences similar to ours? I love doing this. I love asking about past PR campaigns. It's really cool to see it come back with some great examples that gets your brain flowing and has you start thinking about new ideas and innovative approaches you can take to your effort. So thinking about channel effectiveness, ask it, what are the most effective comms channels for reaching the specific audience segment that you're trying to reach? So fill that in based on recent PR campaigns in our sector. Think about predictive insights on engagement. For that, you can ask, given the data on past campaigns, what types of messages and call to actions have shown the highest engagement rates among our target audience? For forecasting media mentions, ask it, what factors have historically correlated with higher media mentions for brands in our industry, and how can we align our upcoming campaign to these factors? Website traffic prediction. What types of content or campaign themes have previously driven significant traffic increases to similar organizations' websites? Again, these questions will just help you get the pieces of information that you need to spark your thinking, to help you predict, to help you put some real numbers and analysis around trends and what's happening in the PR world so that you can make better decisions and create better strategies. Social media engagement forecasting, ask it, can you simulate potential audience reactions to 2 different campaign messages on social media to see which might perform better? Setting realistic PR goals, something we all struggle to do because we like to dream big, but it still is important. So ask GPT, what realistic targets should we set for our next PR campaign based on performance data from similar past campaigns, and feed that data in. Finally, stakeholder reporting, you can ask, how can I summarize the predicted outcomes of our proposed PR strategy to present to stakeholders in a compelling way? So these questions, they can help leverage ChatGPT's capabilities to simulate predictive analytics. Because remember, ChatGPT doesn't directly analyze real-time data, but this will provide you with insights and guidance based on available data and trends. And ChatGPT can process and make recommendations based on the vast amount of information it's been trained on. So you are going to get some very good answers that are based around typical industry patterns and outcomes. I would really love to hear from all of you what you're doing on this front, what's working, what's not, what you really want to try. Feel free to shoot me an email if you don't want to comment publicly, but otherwise we're going to post this on our LinkedIn. So leave a comment there. Let's get this conversation going. Before I go for today, I do want to take a step back and share some of my general best practices when it comes to using a tool like ChatGPT for your PR efforts. And that centers around privacy and data and your association's information. Remember that when you are putting something into ChatGPT, it can become public data. It does become public data. There are paid versions that say things will stay private, and there are sometimes in-house versions. But I think if you always operate under the assumption of, if I put something here, it could become public, and think twice before putting anything you're not sure you want to become public information in, it's a good rule of thumb to do that and to be smart about that. If you're asking ChatGPT to help you with a breaking news announcement that hasn't come out yet, be careful, because that could become public information in that way. Then it's probably unlikely that someone's going to find out about what a trade association is up to through that. But we did see in the early days of ChatGPT, I believe it was a Samsung employee accidentally leaked some new products by putting things into ChatGPT. So you do really want to be smart about that. A couple ways to get around that, but still use it, is to put a different company name in. So just put a placeholder in. It was part of a weekly webinar group where people ask open questions, and someone had an awesome suggestion that they just use Acme Co. in there whenever they put a company in, so they don't put a real company name in. You can do company A and company B if you're talking about partners. You can disguise the industry. There's a lot you can do to still use the tool, but not give information if you have concerns. So I did just want to make sure I touched on that and didn't leave that out, because I do think that's a really important piece to be smart about when you are using AI. Our next episode is going to be another solo cast, and I am going to dive deep into how you can use AI to improve your pitching efforts, which is one of the areas where I have really found so much benefit and am really excited about. So tune in next week for that one. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber so you don't miss out. Remember, our goal at ONU and the A100, it's to help you become the go-to source for your industry or profession. And if there are ways to leverage AI to enhance your PR strategies to do that, we want to help you figure that out. And we want you to be great at that, to make everything better and more effective and hopefully easier. So thank you for tuning into the A100 podcast and hanging in here with me through this solo cast here. If you have any questions or you want to get that copy of our new AI ebook, I mentioned a couple times, but please do shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the show notes, and stay tuned for our next AI solo cast coming out next Wednesday. Until then, I hope you keep pushing forward and embracing the power of AI in your PR efforts. Thanks for tuning in.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Association 100 podcast, brought to you by the A100 publishing team, powered by Onward and Upward Marketing and Communications. You can subscribe to the Association 100 podcast on Spotify so you'll never miss out, or listen via our website at theassociation100.com. Follow us for all the latest insights and trends impacting the world of associations. Thanks for tuning in.